Yo, people, what's happening? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Neeks Sports Podcast. We are live in the cut. This is not a drill. We are live. We're live for the Arsenal versus West Ham London derby. So we're going to get into it now. Get in the comments. Those that are live, get in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know if you think Arsenal will take this one. And yeah, we'll go from there. It's London Derby, baby. London Derby today. West Ham against Arsenal live at a London Stadium. It's called, I think it is. Yeah, London Stadium in Stratford, down the road from me. Yeah, man. East London vibes today. We're on this thing. Arsenal versus West Ham. No crowd, of course, but obviously everyone will be supporting from home. Big game for Arsenal. I say big game. Listen, all eggs have to be in the Europa League basket, really and truly. But as a manager, as a club, as a team, you can't just let the Premier League slide because, as they say, you're judged on where you finish in the league table. Now, we don't want to finish in 10th place, so we obviously want to move up. But if you offer me 10th place in the Europa League, I'll take it. I'll snap your hand off for it. I'll snap your hand off because right now there's no guarantees that we will be getting anything close to that this season. So yeah, we will see. We'll see what happens in today's game. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it, boy. We'll start with Arsenal. Looking at the team news. Listen, the reality is, we're coming off the back of a defeat. We're coming off the back of a defeat. Arteta did say that he wants 5 wins from the next 5 games a couple of weeks ago. I believe that started against Spurs, Olympiacos first leg, which we won. Spurs at the Emirates, which we won. Olympiacos on Thursday, which we lost. However, went through. So it's kind of a W for us. We kind of go through, but yeah, 2 more games on that 5-game run that Arteta said, and the next 2 are West Ham and Liverpool, and then we'll go bang. Apparently, according to Arteta. Listen, he might even stretch that now because we've got Slavia Prague in the next round of the Europa League after Liverpool. So, he may be like another 7-8 game run. But the reason why he said that obviously was to try and get the squad amped up for the Premier League, not just Europa League. I mean, they didn't even look amped up for the Europa League on Thursday, so I don't know what mindset they'll have in the Premier League. But the game against Spurs went to the plan, apart from like the last 15 minutes. When Spurs went to 10 men and we sort of gave them chance after chance after chance. We done the job. We done the job against Spurs. Got the win, of course, even though they scored one of the greatest North London derby goals. And now we're on to another London derby. And listen, we're playing West Ham, who I don't believe I'm saying this, but I'd gladly trade places with them in the league table. Now, you told me that from the start of the season, especially when we beat them 2-1 at the Emirates, and their fixture run looked mad. People were saying I remember there was people saying that West Ham are going down. Ain't gonna survive it with the way that the run that they have. If they start badly, it's gonna be one way. It's gonna be a one-way falling streak. But they're 5th place in the league. They've got a game in hand over Chelsea, which is, I guess, today's game. And boy, yeah, they win this. They joint level with Chelsea in 4th place, and we are in 10th place. If we win it, we can go to 9th place and be a point behind Spurs before they play later on this evening against Villa. Obviously, we go above Villa and then Villa play Spurs, so we could always lose that place back. But listen, we've got to go out and do a job today. We've got to go out and do a job today to West Ham. Not going to be easy. They're a good side, as I said. Been playing good football all season. People always think West Ham's a walkover, and we do actually have a decent record against them. But we got to treat this as a big game, and we got to treat them as a not necessarily a top 6, a big 6 club, because they're not going to come and play ball like how the other big 6 teams would. But you got to respect them in terms of getting a result. and we might have to put out the team that's going to get the result today against West Ham. Hala Madrid is in the chat saying Ceballos masterclass incoming. Maybe he'll have a masterclass incoming from the bench, because he didn't have a great game at number 10 last week, as I mentioned after the Europa League game. He started at number 10 last week. Erdegaard was rested, and he had a bit of a mare. Doesn't suit him. Number 10 just don't suit Ceballos at all. He ended up losing the ball, and then we got caught on the counter, and actually that's how we conceded a goal against Olympiacos midweek. So he might have a masterclass incoming on the bench, sipping some water on the bench. I really hope that he doesn't play. Big up realistic Ghana Laurie in the chat. He says, let's do it so you can celebrate your dirty 30 properly. Yeah, 30 years old yesterday, people. So thank you for everyone that wished me happy birthday yesterday. People on Twitter, people on the text and that. Thank you all for the wishing me happy birthday. Thank you to Ghana Laurie. Yes. Yeah, man, big 3-0 now, big 3-0, and I'm looking for a big win on my birthday to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a big win. Didn't do the job on Thursday for me, so I want the job done today. Get a win before we go on international break. So thank you for that in the chat. West Ham were unlucky in that first game, to be honest. Yeah, they were. They actually probably were the better team in 90 minutes. Yeah, you're right, actually. They had chances. They could have beaten us. Probably should have beaten us. Antonio missed a couple. I think he did score as well, Antonio, didn't he? I remember Lacazette scored like a header from the Bamyang cross. Can't remember who got the other goal. But yeah, we beat them 2-1, luckily. And at that stage, we'd beaten Fulham, and then West Ham, and I think we then beat Sheffield United, and it looked like we were on for a pretty decent little run to the start of the season, and then it went to pot very, very quickly. Sharik Kiani says Lingard masterclass. Boy, I hope not. I hope we do not see a Lingard masterclass, because the man loves to score against us. He loves the little dance against us. So listen, the boys better keep this man quiet, because if he dances up at the London Stadium again, I'll be peak. I'm not trying to see that. Not trying to see Lingard dancing his heart away against us today at all. Thank you, Hala Madrid. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, Sharik Kiani, as well. Yeah, man. So we're gonna get into the team news. We're gonna get into the team news at the moment. The big news for Arsenal was that Bukayo Saka's fit. He declared it yesterday on the website that Bukayo Saka has been training this week, responded well to treatment. I think he came off with a hamstring injury against Spurs, didn't feature in the squad against Olympiacos, and he's back now in the squad. So hopefully we'll see him to start today. I'll get into the team predictions in a bit. And then other news is that Willian's also back in training, and he'll be assessed on today's game. So we probably have a late fitness test to see whether he can actually be fit to play. But on that news, probably don't think he will start today, considering he's only just come back from his injury. But apart from that, squad's looking decent. There might be one or two that are maybe a bit in need of a rest, but no, pretty much full strength squad, which can have its benefits. Obviously, you get a pick of a choice to choose from, but you can also end up overthinking it, think that you need to give other people games, and then you end up putting a weaker team out and not getting the result. But Arteta's managed it quite well. I said put a weaker team out against Leicester City a couple of weeks ago, and we got the win there. So if he does change it, there's still confidence in the sky to decide to go and get the victory. And away from home, we've not been too bad this season. So, and listen, North London derbies are our bag. We love a North London derby. We get results against Chelsea, Palace, Spurs, West Ham. So listen, I'm all right. Fulham. So I think we'll be all right in derbies. And so let's just keep going. Let's just keep going today. Hopefully we get the victory. Hopefully we get the 3 points. Willian having more assists than Ziyech. That's that Robbie Judge. Yeah, big up the Robbie Judge. You know what I'm saying? Willian out here just getting assists, and we know that he's got that. We know Willian's got the quality to do that. With Ziyech, we don't know. Obviously, first year in the Prem, we don't know how he's going to cope. Started very well, and at the start of the season, you thought with the way Willian started and the way Ziyech started, Robbie's going to eat his words. But listen, the season's long. As I always say, the season is long. Don't get too excited in May. Don't get too excited in December, November, but because come May, things could all change. Things could all change. And at the moment, Willian's having a better season than Ziyech. That's the reality of it. Willian is having a better season than Ziyech. Is he a better player? Well, apply that Robbie Judge and you might get an answer there. You might get an answer there. West Ham. Let's talk about West Ham quickly before we go into the team prediction. Obviously, they're coming off the back of a loss. Did they lose? They lost to Man United, didn't they? 1-0 last week. Craig Dawson own goal. And it was interesting because they set out their team very, 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 very defensively in that first half. They didn't attack at all. They didn't think they even had a shot. And you just wondered how long they could last for. Obviously, Man United got the goal. They tried to go a bit attacking and they just couldn't get the momentum together. So I think David Moyes will change it up today based on the result last week, which may not necessarily go in our favour. I think he will start to attack the team. Obviously, Lingard's back, so he gets to go in. And I think he will play a lot more of an attacking lineup. Obviously, Lingard will go in the 10, which may mean Souček and won't be maybe as forward as much. But they've got obviously the pace in Lingard and Antonio to trouble us. So yeah, man, it'll be very interesting. I think their home form is quite good. I think they're on 3 home wins in a row. I think Glenn Roeder was the last manager to get them to 4 in a row. R.I.P. Glenn, who passed away not too long ago. So yeah, man, listen, it's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be an interesting game. West Ham and Arsenal coming on kind of similar forms, not perfect, losing a couple here and there, winning a couple here and there, but it's gonna be it could be quite an even game. Could be quite an even game. But yeah, I'm gonna get now into the team predicted 11. Get in the comments, let me know who you think is going to start today. I'm going to go with the team that I think Arteta will start, because I want to see how close I get to the lineup that he picks. I'll kind of talk about what I would have maybe gone for as well, but I think there could be a few changes in there today. I think there could be 1 or 2 changes in the lineup. So bear me a second, I'll get that for you now. It's going to be difficult to do with a full strength squad, as Sharik saying, who's in the chat, or who I was talking about Leicester. Okay, yeah, Leicester do need an Arsenal win, as Boy said. Leicester do need an Arsenal win, so that they can consolidate their place for the top 4. I guess Leicester, you got bigger fish to fry today, innit? Man United. I think Neeks is coming on today with the FA Cup preview for that. Go check out the one he did with LFC Boyer as well. LCFC Boyer, sorry, Leicester City, not Liverpool. Did a match preview on over there, so please go check that out as well. Yeah, so let's get into the predicted lineup today. So in goal, I'm going to go with Bert Leno. I mean, he came out with some strong words last week after we lost to Olympiacos, saying this can't happen again. It's not good enough. We need to make sure that we're concentrating on every game. Ended up making a big save himself in that game, and we shouldn't have needed to. A lot more talk about the strikers on that as we get up the field. But yeah, poor performance last week against Olympiacos, but got the job done. LCFC Boyer in the chat, just let me know how tough that Slavia Prague game is going to be, because yeah, after what happened against Rangers, I want to just absolutely smoke them. I want to be on fire for that. At right back, I'm going to go with Cedric. Bellerin played in midweek, and I think Arteta will change up again. Cedric played quite well against Tottenham, wasn't troubled much. I feel like he may have gotten out quicker to maybe towards Lamela for that Rabona goal, but sometimes the quality just outweighs it all. You can't be too harsh on it for that. So I think he'll come back in. Obviously hit the post in that game as well. This is where I think he'll change it today. Obviously Gabriel and Luis have been starting the past few games, and Murray has come in for some Premier League games, but we haven't seen Holding for a long time, and I feel like it's a bit harsh that he was dropped. Good player, Holding has been good this season, and yeah, some are saying that it's quite harsh. I think he gets a run out today. I think Holding and Murray get a run out today, and Luis and Gabriel gets the rest. Don't know why, just got a feeling he'll change it. And listen, we ain't kept a clean sheet in 11 games, and I know them two have been good together and they look good, but and I know we obviously are our own downfall sometimes with the Xhaka goal, like that was our fault. That is a bias, contributes to a few mistakes, but I reckon he'll change it up today. I reckon he'll go Holden and Murray. We know that they work well together. They obviously had done in the run from December till now. So yeah, man. We'll see if he does go with that those two at the back. You can't really stop this man from playing. Man, the man's brilliant. Kieran Tierney, again, another great performance against Spurs, up and down that field. You can't stop this guy when he's on his run. Him, the link up with Smith Rowe was brilliant last week. So yeah, no doubt about it. He should be starting today. Thomas Partey, uh, Thomas Partey will start in the middle, I think. Was rested against Olympiacos for the first hour, came on at 60 minutes with Erdegaard, and he's not going to Ghana to play in the international break due to obviously COVID regulation. So he's going to be staying at London Colney for 2 weeks. Great for him, gets a good rest. I'm happy about that. Um, so yeah, I think he'll start in the middle alongside Granit Xhaka. I mean, Xhaka just plays every game these days, so yeah, there's no doubt about it that he'll be playing. Obviously, Sebastian only started last week, so they'll definitely get a rest. I'm going to go with Erdegaard in the 10. Again, as I mentioned before, got a rest against Olympiacos, came on and really changed the game for us. I know we didn't win it, I know we didn't get anything out of it, but we should have done in the end, and he was a big part of us going forward. So I think Arteta recognised that and we'll bring him straight back in. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. As I said earlier, Bukayo Saka is back fit, so I think he will now start on the right hand side as I said, past fit this week, been training this week. I think he comes straight back in. Obviously, he's going on an international break with England, and they got 3 games over the next 2 weeks, so hopefully he doesn't play in every game. But I actually would like to see him against San Marino, maybe even get a goal or assist in that game, because San Marino is that game where you just total up your numbers in an England shirt. So yeah, hopefully we'll see him there. But yeah, I think he starts today. On the left hand side, I'm going to go with Smith Rowe. Now, listen, a lot of people would know that I wasn't a big fan of Smith Rowe on the left wing. I just felt like he's better in the 10. However, against Spurs, he was absolutely brilliant. That Erdegaard, Tierney, Smith Rowe link up on the left. Also, Aubameyang can drift out there as well. But when them free play, it's just like it's free flowing, man. Like Smith Rowe cuts in, Tierney overlaps. I know obviously Aubameyang weren't there on Sunday against Spurs, but you saw that again in midweek in the Europa League, and it just yeah, man. I think it is working. It's working. So I would play it. Obviously Willian's not yet fit, so I don't think he will start. Well, he might be fit, but I don't think he will start. Pepe had an okay game against Olympiacos. And it seems like Arteta wants to play Pepe on the right wing. So I think Pepe will get benched today. And up top, he's got a choice to make. Obviously, Lacazette started last week due to Aubameyang's disciplinary issues, but I think Aubameyang will start again. As I said, international break next week, so I don't see why he won't start, unless obviously he wants to rotate it and go with Lacazette after how poor Aubameyang was last week. And I wouldn't blame him for doing either one. I wouldn't blame him for doing either one. So yeah, we'll see. But that's the lineup I've got. I'm going in goal. So I'm going. So I'll go over it again. In goal, Leno, Cedric right back, Holding, Mario centre back, Tierney left back, Partey and Xhaka as the midfield pivot, Erdegaard in the 10, Saka on the right, Smith Rowe on the left, and Orbs up top. Let me know if you think Arteta will do something different. That's just my personal predicted 11. Let me just get in the comments. Thank you, LFC Boyer, for the comment. For happy birthday, yet 30 years old today. Oh, getting old now, getting old. Have I seen the Leicester Arsenal battle for Basuma? Yeah, heard about this actually. Heard about this the other day. And I mentioned it on here before. He's a player I like. He's a player I really do like, and I actually do want. Um, it'll be interesting. Like obviously, Brighton got a big win yesterday, so the likelihood now is that they're kind of edging away from relegation. And you would have thought maybe if they got relegated, there was more of a chance for them to maybe sell some of their best assets. Now that they're staying up, the price is going to go higher. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I wonder if are you guys like is your mindset that Ndidi will go and he will be a replacement, or do you think he'll play alongside Ndidi? Because there will be a lot of talk about Ndidi going this summer as well. For us, I'd love it. I've loved Bissouma. I've said this before, said this a couple of times. Good player, and someone who I think Arteta can help grow into be a better player. as well. But I think he'd suit Leicester as well. So he'd suit Brendan Rodgers' his game. And it could be an interesting battle to get him. But I would love to get him. I don't see Arsenal getting him. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I just don't see Arsenal getting him for some reason. More likely to go to Leicester. And obviously, I know we're all also in another battle with Edward of Celtic, who are playing. They're playing now, aren't they? They're playing Rangers now on the old firm. Um, but it looks like again you'll probably win that one with your links to Celtic with Brendan Rodgers. I know he likes him a lot as a player, and I think he might suit you a little bit better. I think he will probably suit Leicester a bit better, Edward, than Arsenal. But I would love to have him here personally. I'd love to have him as like maybe an understudy for Aubameyang. Maybe if we can get rid of Lacazette this summer, he can be a replacement for Lacazette and bide his and try and make his way to the first team. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens with that. Oh, okay. So Basuma will be a replacement for Mendy. Yeah, I mean you have a fight to keep Ndidi because I know Man United have been sniffing around him apparently. So, but again, if you guys get Champions League football, then there's not much to wait on unless you think Man United are in with a chance of challenging for the league next year. So yeah, if you finished in the outside the top four, I think you'd struggle to keep Ndidi, but you'd probably keep him. If you finish in the top four, okay. Oh, I was interested. I thought you would get him. I thought you Edward will go Leicester, or unless you're talking about Basuma. I thought Edward will go. Yeah. What position do you need to finish to qualify for the Conference League? Something that's not really been talked about a lot, actually. We've spoken about it on the podcast a couple of times. But yeah, so what happens with the Conference League, right? Is if you win the League Cup, which is Spurs against Man City on in a few weeks' time, the winners of the League Cup qualify for the Conference League. That's the main bag. That's the reward for winning the League Cup, the Carabao Cup. You get into the Conference League. Obviously, if Man City win the League Cup, they're already in Europe. They're already going to be in. Well, they're going to be champions, so they're going to be in Champions League. So therefore, it goes to the next best place. Obviously, the top four places get the Champions League. Fifth place is a guaranteed Europa League place. Sixth place gets Europa League if the FA Cup winners are not in Europe. And therefore, if sixth place gets it, then seventh place. If seventh place gets Europa League, then seventh place will get Conference League. Now, obviously, if sixth place, if the FA Cup winners are, say, I don't know who's still in it, Southampton. If Southampton win the FA Cup, then Southampton will get Europa League along with fifth place, and then the team that finishes in sixth place will get the UEFA Conference League. Very confusing, but I've worked it out, and I think that's how it works. So, Conference League place will be either sixth place, seventh place, or the winners of the Carabao Cup if they do not finish in the top five places. Make of that what you will. So yeah, if Spurs win the League Cup, they could very well end up in the Conference League if they finish outside the top eight. I ain't laughing. Not yet. Not yet. Big up William. Big up William. Big up Wilson in the chat. Thank you for coming on. Very similar lineup: Leno, Cedric, Luis, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Erdegaard. So you've gone with Martinelli and Lacazette instead of Smith-Rowe and Aubameyang. Yeah, very similar lineup. Oh no, you've gone Gabriel instead of Gabriel and Luis. Raw. Okay, you think Gabriel and Luis will play? Interesting. Could do. They could play as well. Yeah, West Ham are not going to be an easy game. As I mentioned that earlier on, it's going to be a tough game. We need to go out and play well to beat them. Spurs still have hope for Azerbaijan away. They always have hope for Azerbaijan away next year. Could always happen. They're in the cup final. And listen, if Jose wins that Carabao Cup, he's going absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. He's got a 3-year deal, so Spurs fans better sit tight and enjoy the ride. Yeah, as Wilson said, it is embarrassing. West Ham are where we should be. We should be in and around that fifth place fighting for Champions League. But we're not. We're here. We're struggling. Can't buy a win. not a consistent run of wins, should I say? Obviously, we didn't even beat Burnley. We beat Spurs, and we didn't beat Burnley. Beat Leicester. So yeah, we're all over the place right now. Get in the comments. Let me know your predictions. I'm going to drop mine in a second. Wilson thinks we'll nick it 2-1. Imagine dropping out your Europa League group and failing and falling into the Conference League. Is that what happens? I think it is. I think you're right. I think third place in the Europa League goes to the Conference League. Mad. And your reward for winning the whole of the Conference League is a Europa League place. So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's UEFA doing UEFA business. Hala Madrid thinks it will be a score draw today, 2-1, 2-2. I say 2-1, 2-2 today. I'm gonna go similar. I think it's gonna be a draw. Personally, I'm gonna go for 1-1. Reason Wilson said it's West Ham. I know Marks. It's gonna be a tough game. Going to be a very tough game. Obviously, I'm hoping for the win. Always backing Arsenal for the win. But I just feel like West Ham are going to put up a fight today, and it's not going to be easy to break them down. And we're so inconsistent. You might argue because we lost last week to Olympiacos, we'll win today, but there's no guarantees of that for the Arsenal Football Club. We just need to go out and play our best. Listen, it's international football next week. You don't have to rest up. Just go all out for it. Get the win. Get the job done. And then we've got obviously a tough game against Liverpool at home in the Premier League. Remember, Liverpool's form is bad at home. Away, they're decent. So I'm expecting the real Liverpool to turn up in a couple of weeks after the international break in April at the Emirates. Yeah. So there we go. Arsenal season is still alive and Spurs are out of Europe altogether. I guess Spurs now have to go and finish as high as possible, innit? That's what they have to do. They've got Aston Villa today in a battle for what, 8th place. They need to go and get the job done there. Yeah, that's me. I just feel like it's going to be a tough game today. If it's going to be a draw, I'll be back on here a bit later on, not necessarily at full time, but I'll be back here a bit later on doing a match review of the West Ham game. And yeah, we got podcasts coming out this week as well, so don't forget to tune in for that. Big weekend next weekend. Formula One is back. Formula One is back next week, so we'll have a podcast discussing our predictions for who we think will win this year's Formula One. We've got obviously the talk about this weekend's football as well. We've got a special guest coming on as well, the podcast this week, so make sure you check that out. And I think it's Dillian White's fighting this week as well. We've got to talk about Dillian White's fight against Povetkin. So there's a lot to discuss on the podcast this week. Make sure you check that out next midweek. The podcast from last week has come out as well, where we discussed last week's predictions. Leicester boy, I know you're into your Formula One, so yeah, don't forget check out that podcast this week. We'll be getting into that F1 time, back on it. We'll see if can Lewis Hamilton win another championship. Boy, we'll see. Listen, guys, thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Gonna go a few hours to the game, 3:00 kickoff. There's a FA Cup games as well today, so it's a bit all over the place. But yeah, check it out. Hopefully we get the win. Come on the Arsenal, 3 points in the bag. That's all I want. Peace out. See you guys soon.